Biblically Centered Kids.
Well, hello, and happy Sunday to everyone out there listening. Today is April 28th, 2024. Whew! Almost to May already. That is hard to believe. Well, my name is Mr. Johnny, and I'm super happy to be here with you guys today on this Sunday episode. Hope you guys have had a great weekend so far. We got some pretty fun holidays we're going to talk about today. The first one I think a lot of you will particularly enjoy because it's National Superhero Day. Let's see, there's Batman, Superman, Captain America, Wonder Woman, Iron Man, the Hulk, and of course, Spider-Man. You heard me, Spider-Man. I know that's a lot of your favorites. These are just some of the superheroes whose names we recognize. And even though they're fictional, these superheroes oftentimes can be role models for us. I mean, they serve and protect while fighting evil. That's pretty cool. And now, while our real-life superheroes may not have superpowers or wear capes, but just like fictional superheroes, children can look up to them as role models as well. They serve and protect our communities. And these real-life superheroes also dedicate their lives to helping others, saving lives, or being a mentor. Well, let's see, we got military personnel, police officers, firefighters, and teachers, just to name a few of the heroes who protect us on a daily basis. So, to all of the superheroes out there, especially the real-life ones, thank you for all you do and for showing up day in and day out, even on the days where no one says thank you. We see you and honor you today and every day. Today, this is a good one for me because it's National Blueberry Pie Day. And Blueberry Pie Day is on April 28th, of course, every year. And we celebrate the wonder of nature's only true blue fruit baked into a doughy, buttery pastry. And it just so happens that at the time of this holiday, the first plump berries in North America will be coming into season, ripe for the plucking, ready to be sugar powdered and baked. This underappreciated dessert actually has deep roots in American colonial history. The blueberry pie, which usually consists of a classic pie dough filled with a berry mixture as well as sugar, flour, and lemon juice, is sort of a victory dessert. Because before the U.S. became an independent country, Native Americans lived off the land and used blueberries, which they would often call starberries, as a source of survival. The original blueberry pie was baked with wild Maine blueberries from, you guessed it, Maine, where the fruit grows liberally without much assistance from the farmers. To this day, the blueberry pie is Maine's national dessert. And though the apple pie seems to have cemented itself as the most stereotypical American dessert, we believe that blueberry pie is as vital to our nation's dessert history as the blue rectangle on our flag. So maybe find a way to make or get yourself a blueberry pie today and enjoy this sweet dessert with us. All right, who's ready to dive into today's draw along? Go ahead and take a few minutes if you haven't already and grab your paper, pencils, crayons, and markers and come back right here. I'm going to pump up the music and give you a few seconds to grab what you need. Okay, go now. Okay, now that we have all of our supplies, we're going to get ready for our draw along. As we normally recommend, we suggest doing your first draft of your drawing with a pencil. So if you make a mistake or just decide there's maybe something you want to change, it's easy to do with a pencil and an eraser. And at the end, once you're happy with your drawing, you can finish by using your crayons and other art supplies to finish your picture. All right, today we're going to be drawing Jesus turning over tables in the temple. Do you remember that story from this week? For this picture, we're going to be drawing on our paper vertically, or portrait, meaning the long side of your paper is up and down, not side to side. All right, are you guys ready to start?
Oh, yeah!
All right, I've got my paper and pencil ready to go. So like I said, this drawing is going to be vertical. And so we're going to be drawing Jesus. And there's going to be a table turned over with coins flying off of it. Maybe a couple birds flying off the table that were being sold in the market. And then a man standing behind Jesus with his hands on his face in disbelief at what he's seeing. And Jesus is also going to be holding a whip in his hand, okay? And I know it sounds complicated, and I'll admit this one's probably a little bit more of a challenge than some of the ones we've done in the past, but we're going to do our best, all right? So, and I'm going to be drawing Jesus. He's going to be standing sideways, so we're going to be doing a profile shot of his face instead of his face being straight on. At least that's how I'm going to draw it. If you want to draw it differently, that's okay too. But I'm going to start at the top, and Jesus is going to be kind of to the left side of the paper a little bit. But his face will be close to the center. So I'm going to start at the top of the page, maybe a couple inches down from the top. And I'm going to start drawing his face. So I'm going to draw it sideways. So I'm going to draw his forehead and then his nose coming down. Of course, Jesus has a beard. He's not very happy in this picture. I know oftentimes we draw Jesus very happy. In this one, he's a little maybe angry. All right, so I'm going to draw a little beard on his face. Coming up and then connecting to his hair. Of course, we're going to draw him with a little bit of longer hair coming down from the top. You got to make sure you got his beard and his long hair. All right, I'm going to give him kind of a scowl on his mouth. So his mouth's going to be kind of turned down, almost like if you're drawing a sad face. And then I'm going to draw his eye right above his nose. And then for his eyebrow, to make it look like he's being very serious, we're just going to draw a straight line coming down above his eye. Okay? And then you can draw a neck underneath his beard. And now he's going to be holding a whip. So I'm going to draw his arm that's going to be closest to the left side of our paper, coming out and kind of curling up. Almost like he was flexing, you know, that position of your arm when you're flexing. So it's kind of coming out and then straight up. All right, you can kind of draw his sleeve there, the end of his sleeve, and then it's curving down. And then I'm going to draw his hand coming out of the sleeve. He's holding a whip, so if you can look at your hand and pretend like you're holding something in your hand, what does it look like? You don't see all of your fingers, right? You just see kind of like your hand and then kind of your knuckles. So we're going to draw it kind of like that. Okay? So just kind of a little bit of his hand and then just 4 kind of little bumps that represent the knuckles. And then come down and then I'm going to draw the whip in his hand. All right, so for the whip, he's going to be holding kind of like a cylindrical tube in his hand, and then the whip will be coming out of that, and you can draw the whip however you want. I'm just going to kind of draw it wavy, kind of coming out over his head as if he's whipping it. You can draw maybe some lines coming off of it at the end, representing it, maybe doing its little whip action. And then for his other arm, I'm going to have it kind of coming out as if he just pushed over a table. So that arm's just going to be kind of coming straight out in front of him. Make sure you give him his sleeve. And then his hand's going to be coming out, and just like an open hand. So if you look at your hand like you're going to give someone a high five, see how it's open? That's how we're going to draw his hand. And in a minute, we'll get to the table that he turned over. All right, so you can kind of draw him in a robe. So I'm just going to have it kind of coming there and all the way down, kind of like how you would draw a dress. All the way down to about the length of what you consider his body to be, lengthwise. And then I'm going to draw his feet coming out of the bottom with sandals on. So just draw some straps on his feet for the sandals. Okay, doesn't have to be perfect. It's just his feet, not the focal point of the picture. Okay. And if you want to draw him like maybe with a sash on, sometimes people traditionally will draw Jesus with a sash on just to kind of represent royalty. So you can do that if you want. You don't have to. I'm going to kind of draw one in. All right, so I got Jesus. He's standing there. He's holding his whip. It's whipping. He's got his hand out because he just turned over a table. So the next thing I'm going to draw is the table turned over. So next to Jesus, right underneath that open hand you drew, I'm going to draw a table on its side. Okay, so if you think of a table, it's rectangular, right? But obviously we're looking at it straight on, so you're not going to see the full rectangle. So it's almost going to be like you're drawing a square with the angles of the sides kind of coming in to give it a little bit of perspective. So underneath Jesus' hand that we drew, I'm just going to draw a straight line down representing the side of the table. And then from the top and bottom of that line, I'm going to draw two lines, both coming in just a little bit to signify an angle of this table. Okay, and then where those lines meet, you can connect them. And then on the side closest to us, I'm going to draw two legs because we could see the legs from this side coming down from the table. Okay, so it literally just looks like a little bit of a square with two legs coming off of it. You can maybe draw some lines on there to make it look like it's made out of wood. Whatever you want. But I'm also going to draw some coins flying. So coins are obviously round. So I don't know, maybe 8 or 12 coins. I'm just going to draw flying around so you can just, around the table, just little coins on the table, maybe flying off. And you can draw some lines coming off of them representing like the direction that they're flying. And if you want to, if you have time, you can put some ridges on the sides of the coins just so they look a little bit more coin-like. And now I'm going to draw a man standing behind Jesus with his hands on his face going, because he can't believe what he's seeing. So this man, he's going to be more straight on, okay? He's going to have a beard and a hat. Okay, so I'm going to draw him standing. I'm going to draw his face first. Give him a hat. And his eyes and his eyebrows are going to be raised like he's in disbelief of what he's seeing. And his mouth, of course, is going to be open because he's shocked. His face is in disbelief. He's shocked. I'm also going to draw his hands on his face. So before you draw anything else, you can just draw kind of some hands on his face. Okay, give him a beard. All right, and then I'm going to draw, to kind of connect the hands to his body, I'm going to draw his, almost like if you put your hands on your face right now, kind of raise your elbows, kind of how your arm is coming straight out of both sides. We're going to draw it like that. So on each side, we're going to draw his arms coming straight out, kind of circling around. And then you can kind of connect the sleeves to where you drew his hands. Okay. And he's going to be having an open robe. So I'm going to draw his robe kind of open, coming down. And this man is just in disbelief. He can't believe that Jesus actually showed up and is doing this. So connect it down at the bottom. And if you can, my guy's feet are kind of behind the table, so I can't really draw his feet. But depending on where you drew him, you might need to color in his feet or give him some legs, whatever you need, depending on where you actually drew him on your paper. But my guy doesn't have any feet because he's standing behind the table.
Where are my legs?
All right, so right now I have Jesus. He's turning over the table. There's coins flying everywhere. There's a guy in the background going, and then let's see, maybe some birds flying off the table. You want to draw some birds. Now, you can draw your birds however you want. We can keep them simple. Just draw their head shape with their beaks. And then some wings coming off either side. tail feathers, and then there you go. You got a bird flying off. You can draw a couple of those where you want. And then if you want to draw something in the background, you can draw kind of like archways, like the entrances to the temple, if you want, just in the background. And there you go. Now you got Jesus holding a whip, turning over a table, coins flying everywhere, birds flying off. And that's our picture. What do you think? How did yours turn out? Mine, I like the way it turned out. I think I made Jesus' body a little too squatty. He doesn't seem like he's tall enough. I probably could have elongated his body, but that's okay. Nothing I can't fix. So now you can, when this episode's over, you can look at it, erase it, change it, modify it, do whatever you want to do to make it how you want it to be, and then color it in with whatever colors you want to really bring it to life. And you know, Jesus' cleansing of the temple really teaches us about the necessity of initiative when it comes to maintaining and sanctifying our spaces. You know, and that's both physically and spiritually. And so by Jesus taking decisive action, he demonstrated that reverence for God surpasses routine observances, and it also confronts exploitation and injustice directly. And that's why I love this story. So anyways, how does your picture look? You know, this one might have been a little bit of a harder one, drawing two people, birds, turned over table, coins. You know, that's a good amount of different shapes and perspective and dimension to include in a drawing. So trust me, it's okay if your picture isn't perfect. I'm looking at mine right now, and it is not perfect. But have some grace for yourself and keep working at it. And once you get it in a good spot, just color it in and get it somewhere as a reminder of the importance of honoring God in all we do, including our personal spaces. Well, thanks so much for doing this draw along with me today. I hope you continue to have a great Sunday. We've got a brand new batch of episodes starting tomorrow with our next Virtue R, which says, well, if you don't know it, you'll have to tune in tomorrow to Biblically Centered Kids. Until next time.